First of all, I'll briefly introduce about myself. I am Nandanaa GP. I am coming from Kollam district of Kerala. Uh, I have secured rank 47 this year, and this was my second attempt. Uh, about my background, I studied my schooling in Kollam itself. Till 12th standard, I studied in the Kollam district itself. Then after that, I did my graduation from Marvanius College, Thiruvananthapuram. It is one of the premium institutions in Kerala. I graduated in English Language and Literature from Marvanius College in 2022. And after my graduation in 2022, I started preparing for UPSC. After giving a preparation of 1 year, I gave my first attempt in 2023. And in that attempt, I was not able to clear the prelim stage. I had good marks in GS. Like that year, the GS cutoff was 75, and my marks was 91. So I had some 16 marks above the cutoff in my first attempt itself in GS, but I scored only 65 marks in CSAT, and that's why I failed in CSAT in my first attempt. So after my first attempt, I decided that if I have to clear this exam again, I have to focus a lot on mains aspect. So I decided to focus on mains more after my prelims failure. For around 6 months, I prepared for mains alone, and after that, I did integrated preparation for prelims as well as mains. And after that, in 2024, I gave my second attempt. And in my second attempt, I was able to clear this exam. And also, my optional subject in case of UPSC was Malayalam literature. And about my marks, in second attempt also, I have scored good in case of prelims. I scored 95 marks. Cutoff was 87 this year, I guess. And I significantly improved my CSAT marks also. In From 65 marks in 2023 to 90 around 91 marks in 2024. I improved my CSAT marks also. Regarding my mains, I cleared this exam because of the good marks I scored in my GS optional as well as interview. I don't have good marks in essay. I scored just 87 marks in essay, but I have a 442 marks total in GS, around 102 marks in GS1, 122 in GS2, 90 in GS3, and 128 marks in GS4. In case of optional subject also, I have scored well, like 278 marks in case of Malayalam literature. In case of interview, I have 193 from Sheelvardhan Sir's board. So combining all these marks, I was able to get rank 47. And about my preparation, I prepared from not my hometown but my adjoining district, the Thiruvananthapuram, which is the capital city of Kerala. Thiruvananthapuram is called as the UPSC hub of Kerala. There are significant institutes as well as like coaching institution facilities, etc., available in Thiruvananthapuram. So that is like Thiruvananthapuram is just 60 kilometers, 60 to 65 kilometers away from my home. So I prepared from here itself. I have never been to Delhi till my interview preparation started. I have been to Delhi only twice. Once in February for my mock interviews, and second in April for my actual interview. So I am a person who have prepared from the comfort zone of my state itself, not in the higher coaching hubs like ORN or Mukherjee Nagar or something. I'll talk briefly about my strategy in case of all the three stages of examination. In case of prelims, in both my attempts, prelims was not at all an issue for me, especially the GS. My strategy in case of prelims was to have a good base of standard material like the Lakshmikant or the Spectrum. I used to revise those again and again. So the first step for clearing or having good marks in prelims is to have your base cleared, and repetitive revision of NCERTs as well as standard books help you in case of that. And my second strategy, I believe, is uh, that has helped me a lot is developing that MCQ solving skills. I had two-pronged approach for developing the MCQ solving skills. One was to do as many tests as possible. I am a person who do so many tests. In my second attempt, when I started my prelims preparation in November, my weekly approach was Monday to Thursday. For example, let's say I have a history test this week, or a geography test, or whatever subject test this week. My strategy was I'll be studying the subject from Monday to Thursday. I'll be devoting some 4 to 5 hours every day to study the standard material that is required for that particular subject. Let's say if it is Polity, I'll be studying the NCERTs as well as the Lakshmian portions that is there for the test this week. So Monday to Thursday was dedicated for the preparation of standard material, and on Friday, Saturday, as well as Sunday, I will be dedicating those days for test. Uh, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I will be doing one test every day. That means I'll be doing three tests every day. Sorry, not every day, every week. So overall, in a week, I'll be preparing standard text for 4 days, and I'll be doing a test in 3 days. So that was my 1 week look like till the January end. From February, March, as well as April, as well as May, my strategy was to balance the standard text as well as the uh, uh, test preparation. So I'll be doing a half test every day, and rest of the time I'll be dedicating for the revision of standard text, etc. Last year I have done around 110 plus tests, including the previous year question papers. In my first attempt also, I have done around 90 tests in my first attempt itself. And another thing that people often forget in case of prelims preparation is the importance of previous year question papers. I am a person who believes that previous year question papers are the key to crack the prelims examination. In my both attempts, I have done PYQs very well. Like my approach in case of previous year questions is I'll be solving the previous year question papers like I do the actual prelims examination. I'll be taking 2 hours to solve that question paper from 9:30 to 11:30, and after that I'll be looking through each and every statement, every sentence that is provided in the previous year question papers. So let's say if the question is about a organization like an international organization, I will not just look at the answer. I will be looking at all the four options. I'll be making notes of these previous year question papers. Not only the answer itself, I will make notes of the options also. So I had a holistic preparation, subject wise. Previous year question paper notes were made for each and every subject, and that's how I prepared for prelims. So overall, I believe my prelim strategy is to revise standard material as many times as possible, as well as do as many questions as possible, both test as well as previous year question papers, and not a superficial learning of previous year question papers. I used to do it again and again. I used to research on the options given by UPSC, etc., and understand the language that is used by UPSC also. That can also be done using the previous year question papers. In case of CSAT strategy, I believe that the mistake I did in my first attempt in 2023 in case of CSAT was that I was preparing for CSAT. I used to attend classes for CSAT. I used to do tests provided by coaching institute in case of CSAT. I used to do everything everything other than what is required for the CSAT exam. I ignored the previous year question papers of CSAT paper in my first attempt. So I didn't have an idea about what UPSC wants in case of CSAT. So that's how I failed in CSAT in my first attempt. And also anxiety was another reason. I became panic in midst of the examination, and that has also affected a lot in case of CSAT. In my second attempt, I decided that I will be focusing a lot on previous year question papers in case of CSAT more than the coaching institute wala like material and all. So again, for both maths as well as comprehension, I focused a lot on previous year question papers. I am a person whose maths is weak but comprehension is strong as a literature graduate. So in case of maths, I focused on previous year question papers only. I tried to study portions that are very important for CSAT, especially the topics like number system. And in case of comprehension, I believe that the aspirants believe that the comprehension part of CSAT paper is very uncertain. But from my research and the analysis of CSAT papers, I have understood that it's not that uncertain. We feel it uncertain because there is a specific keyword that is given by UPSC in case of every comprehension question. Like there can be something like assumption, inference, such kind of keywords are used by UPSC in case of comprehension. So what I did was I took all these keywords. I believe some 10 to 12 keywords are there. So I took all these keywords and I made notes of all these keywords through various YouTube videos available. I tried to make notes of all these keywords and understood that what is exactly meant by these keywords rather than interpreting it by my own. And after that, I classified all the previous year question papers of CSAT based on the keywords that is there. For example, I arranged all the assumption question under one heading, all the inference question under another heading, etc. So then I first after reading the meaning of the keyword, then I solved these previous year question papers keyword wise, and I understood what UPSC actually means by these keywords. Like the assumption of UPSC is different from inference of UPSC. So through such an approach, I was able to solve. Like in 2024, the comprehension was not very easy, but I was able to correct almost 24 or 25 questions in comprehension by this approach. So this was my CSAT approach, and also being calm in case of prelims helped me a lot. Like you have to be confident in all the three stages of this examination. So that calmness of mind has also helped me. And about my main strategy, after my prelims failure in my first attempt, I started preparing seriously for mains. My optional is an optional that doesn't score very well. Malayalam literature is an optional that it is very hard to score above 250. It's not like other science of optionals, or even something above 260 is very rare in case of optional. So I believe that if at all I want to clear the UPSC exam, I have to score very well in GS. So I knew that fact, and that's why I prepared very well for the GS. My approach in case of GS was to make notes of all the GS topics. So how I used to do that was I used to take the previous year question papers as well as syllabus of each subject. Then I used to identify topics that are very important for UPSC from both keywords given in syllabus as well as the previous year question papers. Then I'll be Googling that particular topic. I haven't used much of standard sources for making note for mains. I used to Google, like for example, if I am making notes about child labor, I'll be Googling child labor UPSC. Then there will be some material published by some UPSC website. So I'll go through that and I'll pick some two-page content that is required for UPSC. So that's how I made notes in case of GS 1, 2 as well as 3. I used to search for examples, case studies, data, all these things so that I can enrich my answers. That was my GS approach, and also I used to write a lot of answers. I used to write some 2 3 questions per day, and I used to evaluate it myself. I used to take question from the toppers copies, then I'll write it by myself, then I'll be comparing my answer with the answer written by the topper. So that's how I improved my answer writing. That was about my GS strategy. And about my GS4, like the ethics strategy, I scored 128 marks in case of ethics. That was instrumental in my selection. So how I approached the GS4 is that I used to like initially I was a bit skeptical about the ethics because uh, I was not ethics ready at the time I have cleared the prelims. So how I did was I focused a lot on answer writing in case of ethics. I have prepared basic content from the material I had. I have read both. I have read Coaching Institute material for the ethics, both Fortune IAS material as well as the Vajaram material. After I made my base material strong, I focused a lot on answer writing in case of ethics, and also value addition was another thing by collecting examples, case studies, etc. If you download my answer sheet and look at my answer sheet, you will find that I am a person who writes examples for every point I make. If there are some 10 points in my answer sheet, there will be 10 examples that I have put in for that. So my strategy was to value add every or substantiate every answer with examples. That has worked or that has helped me score 442 marks in case of GS. And in case of optional strategy, I don't have much strategy to share. It was mostly studying the material provided by the coaching institute. I studied at Jalagam Institute by Sarada ma'am. So mostly it was like studying the material provided there, answer and as well as answer writing with value addition, like the quotes, etc. That helped me score the 278 marks here. In case of my essay strategy, I do not advise anyone to follow my essay strategy because I have scored only 87 marks. But my essay strategy was to prepare a lot of content as well as answer writing or essay writing per se. First of all, I prepared a note of around 10 topics, some 10 frequently asked topics taken from previous year question papers, and I made some 8 to 10 page note for every essay topic like women, democracy, etc. And after that, I went through the previous year question papers. Then I brainstormed the last 3 year previous year question papers, like around 8 into 3, that is 24 topics. And I made some 1 to 2 page note for the previous year question papers topic also. And after that, I used to collect the anecdotes, data, or such things that can be written in essay in a digital note. I had some 100-page note for anecdotes also. After all these preparation of these content, I used to write one essay every week. I used to take toppers essays, then like toppers essays, then I'll be comparing my essay with the essay written by topper, and I used to improve. So that was my essay strategy. Then coming about interview, I think we can talk a bit about that. In case of my interview was on April 11. It was Shilvardhan Singh IPS who was my board chairman. But the questions asked by chairman was mostly about my background. I come from English literature background. The Shilvardhan sir also have a English literature background, so it was mostly English literature that happened to be my interview topic. And also there were questions about Kerala, the Kerala model of development, Kerala industries, etc. There were general questions about the current affairs happening at that point of time. Like at that time, the Tahawur Rana was brought back to India. There were talks about terrorism and all. The governor judgment was there. So it was mostly about terrorism and such things was also asked. Then it was mostly the questions was mostly about the English literature only, and I have put the reading of mythological literature like the Indian mythological novels as my hobby. So the chairman asked about that also, like the freedom of expression versus the mythological novels. Such kind of things were also asked. The board was very cordial, and my interview was a very cordial experience, and I scored 193 marks also. And in interview, I believe uh, the strategy should be to appear as a genuine person, and and answer all these questions confidently, and also if possible try to show your value system to the board members. That will also help you in securing good marks. That was my interview strategy. So these are the things I want to talk in general. uh, After this I believe we can take some questions. If there is some question, your answer writing strategy, I have already mentioned. I used to use Topper's copy for answer writing. I used to compare my answers. Like I used to take Topper's copy, then I'll be looking at these questions answered by the topper. Then I'll be answering it by my own. Then I'll compare my answer with the answer written by the topper. So that was my strategy. Uh, I used to prepare pointers or examples for as many topics as possible or as many points as possible. Whenever I used to make notes, I used to search for example, if I am writing about if I am making notes about the mental health issues and I am writing a way forward for that, I will be searching in Google what are the initiatives by government in case of mental health. Then some schemes like Manodarpan scheme will be coming. Then if I go to the news section, there will be some news regarding some best initiative taken in some parts of India. So I'll be noting that. So when I was preparing notes before the prelims, I used to prepare notes for as many topics as possible. Uh, that helped me in having examples for every point I am going to write. Then why UPSC? This was a question I was asked in my actual interview also. The lady member asked me why UPSC after coming from a after coming from a literature background. So I said her that I am coming from a family of teachers. Both my parents are teachers. So my initial ambition was to become a teacher itself. But later I understood that there are some things that a civil servant can do uh, more than a teacher. So I understood the opportunities given by the civil service and came to or decided to give it a try. Any other questions? How do UPSC themes get repeated? UPSC themes will definitely get repeated. I don't remember exact examples right now, but I believe that like I have seen many examples where the exact questions were asked again. I think in 2024 there was a question about like um, uh, like some institution or something that was earlier asked by UPSC. In both prelims as well as mains, the questions get repeated, the themes get repeated. Sometimes the options that were given in somewhere in 2016 or 17 came as a actual question in 2022, 23, etc. I don't remember the exact details, but I believe that the questions will definitely get repeated, and it is very important to prepare uh, for previous year question papers, because that is where we understand the language used by UPSC, and also the options, their themes, etc. My strategy in last 2 months of mains. Uh, I will talk about the 3 months. In first 2 months of my mains, I was focusing more on the first reading because that was last year was my first mains. So I was focusing a lot on reading the things again and like the first reading. After around 2 months of preparation, I had some 1 month left. So I divided that last 1 month into 20 days as well as 10 days. So in the second revision happened in the 20 days and the third revision happened in the 10 days. The schedule was almost same most of the time, around 10 hours for the 10 hours for the content reading and 1 to 2 hours for answer writing. That was my last month strategy. Revision. In the first year of my preparation, I used to revise very effectively. I used to use the spaced repetition idea. I used to read one topic today. For example, if I am reading Parliament today, I'll be revising that tomorrow. Then I'll be revising that again after 7 days. Then I'll be revising that after 30 days. And to track these things, I used to use the Google Sheets. For example, if I am studying Parliament today, I'll be entering that Parliament in that first column. Then I'll be mentioning the dates I have to revise that. For example, if today is 27, I'll be writing 28th as first revision. Maybe next week, some July 3rd or 4th as the uh, seventh day of revision. Maybe 26th of next month as the 30th day revision. So one day morning, for example, let's say it's July 10, I'll be waking up and I'll be searching the Google sheet like July 10. Then there will be some topics that are in front of me. Like there will be some polity topics, some geography topics, some economy topics, etc. Then I'll be selecting some topics to revise based on my understanding of those topics, like how far I think I remember that topic, etc. Then I used to revise such. Yes, it will get overwhelming, clashing of dates, etc. will be there. That's why I said I'll be prioritizing based on my needs. Like if I feel that our topic is well revised, I'll keep that aside. I'll be revising topics that I believe are not very fresh in my memory, or I believe I need more revision of that. So that's how I used to manage that, and keep one thing in mind. I used to do that only in the first year of revision, because after first year of preparation, I had like better understanding of the topics. I didn't need that such such intensive revision. So in second and third year of my preparation, I used to revise as per the needs of test and all. What mistakes did you make? I have already mentioned the mistake I have done, that I haven't gone through previous year question papers very well. So that was a mistake I did in my first attempt, and I like rectified that. Your essay and ethics strategy, I have already mentioned. Ma'am, tell me about foundation course and how to do static. I attended foundation course in Thiruvananthapuram itself. I did it in the Fortune IAS Academy in Thiruvananthapuram. Static topics, I mostly refer to the books that every aspirant reads, like the Lakshmikant or Spectrum or previous year question papers, etc. Difference between mock interview and UPSC interview, it's entirely different. Uh, it's not at all like the mock interviews. Like in my case, as I have said, I have mentioned that I read mythological novels. So most of my mock interviews revolved around Kerala as well as the mythological novels. But nobody looked into the background I had, like the BA English background as well as the the literature optional background I had. Nobody cared about. I have attended some 10 mock interviews, 5 in Delhi and 5 in Thiruvananthapuram, but nobody was very interested in my literature background. But the UPSC chairman was very much interested in my literature background. So I believe, and also regarding the atmosphere, the UPSC atmosphere is very cordial. It's not at all the firing and those spicy questions that you see in the YouTube. Uh, How to handle FOMO? Like I too had FOMO. Like I was preparing from Thiruvananthapuram. I am not from a very big college, some Delhi University or something. I don't have a backup also. Like I studied BA English. So I had FOMO too, but I think I trusted my hard work. I believe that everyone can do so. No need to be having that fear. I think everybody is in the same position as you are. Then is it necessary to take coaching? It is your own like comfort. If you think that you need the help, you can take coaching. Otherwise, everything is like available in YouTube and all. You can use that. How to cover environment and ecology. For prelims, I use the PM of IAS book. For mains, I made my own topics. Sorry, my own notes by taking taking topics from the syllabus as well as previous year question papers. I don't make one pager notes. I usually make some 2 3 page note. I am not a fan of one pager, like stuffing everything in one page. I take A4 sheets. I write things that are necessary for that topics. My basic template is to have an introduction, have some Google, like some examples, data, maps, etc. Then positives as well as negatives, then a way forward and a conclusion. That was the basic requirement when I was making a notes. It will not be one page. It will take some 2 3 pages. So that's how I did. Regarding gap years, I don't think that it matters at all. I have some friends who had a gap of some 10 years but still cleared the exam, like between their graduation and the UPSC. There are people who have taken gaps between graduation. Everything is possible. Like UPSC doesn't care about gap years and all. No need to worry about that. My book list, I have already mentioned my book list in my Telegram channel. For films, it's mostly things that uh, like things that every aspirant do, like the Lakshmikant, PMF, Spectrum, Vivek Singh, etc. So I have posted the detailed book list in my Telegram channel. How I stayed confident even after not preparing optional. I have done whatever I could. Like in case of optional, my paper one was not very like prepared. I had to study a lot in the gap between prelims as well as mains. So I haven't prepared much, but still, since I have prepared like all other things like the GS essay as well as paper two, I could give time for that. Is it necessary to join ethics course by peers, sir? Like I joined the course when I felt that my preparation is going in a wrong side. Like I had only 2 months left for the mains, so I had to somehow patch up the issues I had. That's how I joined the course. You need not join if you think that you can manage it, especially if you have time. In my case, I didn't have time. I just had 2 months left and I had mains in front of me. So that's how I joined. If you think that you can prepare by yourself, you can do that. Answer writing strategy, I have already mentioned that making notes and comparing, writing answers and comparing it with toppers was my strategy. How to make mains not effectively in starting stage, value add. Like in the starting stage, you can first analyze. The first thing you have to do is to analyze the previous year question papers as well as the syllabus. So after that, you will have a better idea about this examination. Then then search for a topic. Let's say if it is non-communicable diseases in case of social justice, it will be in news every time. You'll have that as a part of health in case of social justice also. Then you can search it in Google and make notes. Regarding value addition, I think you can do that while you are making notes itself. You can add it further, like when you are reading newspaper, getting some stuff, you can add it to your notes. Like it is a continuous process. It's not a one-time process. Ma'am, will you provide some guidance? It will be useful. I have, like I already have a Telegram channel and I usually answer all the questions there. Ma'am, did you follow same answer writing approach by Piyush sir? Yes, I think. Uh, right time, like if you are a beginner, like haven't attempted anything, right time for a test series. If you are a beginner, I think after reading some topics, like some 4 5 months of preparation, you can join a prelims test series if needed. Uh, and if you have started reading your mains, you can join that also. And if you are a person who have already given attempt, I believe after the prelims you can join a mains test series. It would better be a year long one. so that you can prepare for mains simultaneously with the prelims. If you don't know any answer, definitely you will not know any answer. Like in my first attempt, after my whole preparation in prelims, I just knew the answer of 7 questions. In my second attempt also, I just knew some 25 questions. Still, I managed to score above 90 plus in both the attempts. In both in prelims, means as well as interview, it doesn't matter whether you know the answer or not. You have to take a logical guess. That's how it works. In case of mains also, there will be bouncer questions like last year there was testers, demographic window, etc. You will not be exactly knowing the answer of those questions, but logically you have to write an answer and get a decent marks in those questions. In case of interview, honesty is the best policy. Like if you don't know any answer, you can rightly say that. Like you can say to the person that sir or ma'am, I do not know the answer correctly right now. I'll read about that. While doing the coaching, I used to revise their content, like the notes provided by them. After that, I used to revise that. I used to write answers and get it evaluated by the mentors. I used to write tests like prelims test as well as mains test. That was my strategy during the coaching. My Telegram channel name is Nandanaa GP rank 47. You can get that. How many questions you wrote perfectly and how many below average? Uh, it depends on the paper. Like in GS1, I have wrote some 15, 16 questions perfectly. Others were bouncers. I have written an average answer. In GS2, most of them were bouncers, like the current affairs we haven't prepared. I have written some 7, 8 questions perfectly, and then rest was all like logical answers. GS3 was good. I have prepared it well. I have written some 17, 15, 16, 17 questions perfectly, and then all bounces. GS4 almost all questions, like almost section A questions, I almost all questions I have wrote perfectly. Uh, Case study also was fine. This was my second attempt. I didn't do self study. Self study, I had attended coaching. Like I, in my first year of preparation, I had some 4 hour GS class and 2 hour optional class. So I had to, I just got some 4 hours, 5 hours for self study. But still, I used to manage with that. I used to religiously study during those hours. Uh, that's how it went. After my coaching got over in my after my first attempt for last 2 hours, 2 years, I have been studying for long hours, around 10 hours on usual days, and around 12 to 13 hours on like months before the exam, some 2, 3 months before the exam. Anything else? Mentally calm during exam, like I used to share my worries with the people. I had good relation with my parents, my friends, and all. Other than that, I haven't done anything. I used to talk to my mentors also. How to manage 20 questions in 3 hours? It comes with like practice. You have to write answers daily, especially during that gap between prelims and mains, and that will help you in managing the time and writing in a fast manner. Analyzing previous year question papers, like take that, look at the questions, what are the questions that are being asked, and maybe what are the source. Like in case of mains, was it in current affairs or was it a static portion? Like was it based on the syllabus portion? Uh, so in that manner, you will analyze the mains questions. In case of prelims, you can solve that, then take insights from the question. Current affairs with static part, I haven't inculcated much. I am not a person who run behind current affairs. I am a person who focus more on static portion. Uh, like I used to. prepare topics that in current affairs that are very much in news and inculcate that to static. Like for example, if like governor is in news, so if there is some important judgment or something like happening in case of governor, I'll add that to the mains notes I have. May answer writing has started after some 4 5 years of 4 5 months of preparation itself. I used to write like some answers. Then after my prelims failure, I used to write a lot of answers. Revision strategy I have already done. Study a book from prelims and mains perspective. No need to separate like that. You can just read the book based on the previous year question papers. Not having any confidence, I believe. If you are putting enough hard work in the right direction, you can be confident considering that you are putting in a lot of effort. So trust the process, trust the hard work you are putting in. Avoiding distractions, I believe if it is the social media like distractions, I think you can use some apps. I used to use Forest app for cutting the notification and all. If it is other distractions outside, I think it's your personal will to say no to these things that are coming. My first choice is IAS. My service preference is IAS. So I think that's all. Uh, like uh, that's all the I have tried to answer the maximum questions I could. If there is any other question, you can definitely type that in the discussion box. I have a Telegram channel, Nandana GP rank 47. There is a comment box there. You can type your doubts there. I'll definitely try to answer that. And there will be further sessions by UPSC Times also. So you can ask your questions in further live sessions. So, I would like to thank UPSC Times also for giving me an opportunity to interact with the aspirants, and thanks for the opportunity. All the best for all the aspirants. Let all of you be able to achieve the service that you want. So, thank you.